Hello and welcome back. Today we're building our wash day routine. We're going to go through some different ways to determine your hair type, best products and technique for your hair type to have an overall successful wash day and healthy hair journey. So why am I making this video? I was recently reviewing some feedback from my wash day routine, which you can find here or there, and you can watch it now or later. Just make sure you watch it. And what we found was that I did a whole lot of talking and doing in that video, but not a whole lot of talking and instructing. And thinking back, it makes complete sense that a gap was definitely missed because most girls who would, or guys who would click on that video probably are revamping their hair care routine or new to the natural hair journey. So they needed more help. They needed more instruction. So that's why I'm revisiting that video. I'm going to use it as a guide to kind of go through this video step by step. So yeah, that's the purpose of this here video. So what makes me qualified to make this video? I am not a licensed cosmetologist. I am not a chemist. However, I have been enrolled in natural hair YouTube University since about February of 2010, or really a little bit before then because I transitioned before I big chopped in February of 2010. So I've watched a bunch, I've learned a bunch, I've tried a bunch, I've bought a bunch. I'm a vet in the game in that sense. And also I've just seen various seasons of my own hair. I transitioned for about a year, I big chopped, I grew my hair out to about bra strap-ish length, and then I big chopped my hair again about a couple of years ago because I've always wanted a really short pixie cut. I enjoyed that, and now I'm back into my hair care journey to grow out my hair as long as it can get. I'm shooting for mid-back, in the next few years, but I'm back in it. So enough of the background and all about me. Let's get to why you're probably really here, which is building your hair care routine. And even before we start there, I think the most important thing, not only for your hair care routine, but just your natural hair journey in general, is really optimizing your mindset. And in mindset, I mean just really ensuring that you are loving and learning and appreciating your hair for what it is. So the hair we have is what we have. How thick, thin, curly, coily, it is what it is. We have to own that. There's not really much we can change about those things because it's genetic. But what we can change is how we care for it, what products and techniques we use to help retain it. That will help inform us to build our routines and build our natural hair journeys to have flourishing hair eventually. But yeah, just being mindful not to compare your hair or have hair envy, which I'm sometimes guilty of. Oh, I wish that I had thicker hair. I wish that I had, curlier hair. It's not, we can't change that. So just, own what we have and optimize what we have, and we will get the results that we want eventually. Okay, so we have mindset, and next would be learning your hair. What kind of hair do I have? I think there's about 3 major groups of categories of how you can determine what kind of hair you have. One would be your curl pattern or your curl shape. The second would be the density, which plays hand in hand with your strand thickness. And then third would be your porosity. Okay, so first is your curl pattern. This is what we mostly know and hear about. So if you've heard 3A, 3B, 3C, 4A, that's the hair type curl pattern system that's very popular. And to me, it's a way to solely characterize the shape and size of your curl. And we should take it with a grain of salt. I think it can be variable, it can be subjective. Don't get hung up on the actual numbers and letters and specifics about your hair. Nothing's right or wrong. The main thing that I like to take from the hair typing system is 3s are mostly curly, 4s are mostly coily and kinky. And then within the 3 and 4, you have letters from A to C. A being the biggest curl size of that group, and C being the smallest. So 3A would be a loose, wide curl, getting to more coily as you get to the C's. And then 4s, you start with very coily hair with a smaller curl diameter. And then as you get to the 4C's, your curls are even more tight, more coily, more kinky, more zigzaggy. curls. And that's all really you should take from it. Curl shape, curl size, period. There are some products that are geared specifically towards a specific curl type, but again, I would take this with a grain of salt and just buy what you want and just see if you like it. And that's it. So next is density, and this is just the amount or the number of strands per square inch on your head. So this can be low or high density, and this is what typically we think about when people say they have thin hair or thick hair. How much hair do you have on your head? Related is strand thickness, and this is what I consider when people say that they have fine or coarse hair. So, how thin or thick your actual hair strand is. So, if your hair is fine, it may be very prone to breakage, and as your hair is more thicker, becomes more coarse, it's more robust and less prone to breakage. And like all things that we're going to discuss throughout this video, all of these things are on a scale, they're on a range, they're on a spectrum. It's going to vary from head to head. Within a single head, you can have different combinations of all of the things that we're going to talk about. So, again, really take in with a grain of salt everything that you take from this video or other videos that you watch. Just be mindful, it's all a spectrum. Try things, see if you like it, and move on. And the final category in determining what kind of hair you have is porosity. Porosity is your hair's ability to absorb and retain moisture, and it's directly related to the shape of your cuticle. So the cuticle lines the outside of your hair, and if you have low porosity, this cuticle is very tightly closed. And if you have high porosity, this cuticle is pretty open, and it allows things to move in and out very quickly and easily, which in turn can be a bad thing. Your hair can be very dry because it's not retaining the moisture in the products. So there are different products and techniques to kind of temporarily modify how porous your hair is to allow products in or out. So using heat to open up a low porosity cuticle, using cold water to close down a high porosity cuticle. Products will help kind of change the properties of your hair. So just do your research and kind of see different products and techniques to modify your specific porosity. And there are a couple ways that you can determine your hair's porosity or help you determine your hair's porosity. One is using a strand of shed hair. If you place it in water, if it sinks, it should be low porosity. And if it floats, it should be high porosity. I'm too lazy for that. So how I determine what my porosity is by how quickly my hair dries when it's saturated with water. It's pretty fast, not super fast, but fast-ish. So I would then consider myself medium to high porosity. But again, take everything with a grain of salt, try different products, try different techniques, and try to, find that sweet spot for you and your hair. So now for the fun stuff finally. We're going to go through my complete wash day with the techniques and products that I like to use for my 3C for a hair with medium to high porosity, low density, and coarse strands. And again, these recommendations and this routine is specific to my hair type and what I prefer and what I've kind of found over the years. But I would encourage you to use the backbones of what I do to find your hair twin on YouTube. There's a bunch of creators, a bunch of videos. And if you find that hair twin or hair sister, you can really help start to shape the products and techniques that will work for you and your similar hair type. So yeah, find your fave and get rolling. But for me and my hair, we start with a pre-poo every time. And a pre-poo is just what its name suggests. It comes before the shampoo, before the cleansing step. In the past year, it has been really, really vital for me to do pre-poo every time. My hair knows a difference. My hair doesn't even act the same with my Holy Grail styler products if I don't pre-poo. So that's how important it is to me and my hair routine. And a pre-poo is really whatever you make it. A pre-poo can be a hot oil treatment. A pre-poo can be using a cheap conditioner to detangle and, comb out your hair before you shampoo. And a pre-poo can be a specific product that is marketed for pre-pooing. Okay? So the only pre-poo that I own that I use is the Pattern Breakage Barrier Hair Mask. Now this is I don't know what in it that my hair loves so much, but I can't live without this. Currently, there's nothing that's beating this, nothing that's topping it, nothing that can with it. Okay, so this, yes. Pattern also makes a specific pre-poo that is marketed as a pre-poo, but this is more related to pre-poo after you've done heat styling to help revert your curls. So I've never used that, and I don't have plans to use it because I don't heat style my hair very often, but that is an option. So Pattern's price point is about mid-range. There's nothing that's less than $20 in her line. So depending on your budget, I would highly recommend trying this. Another one that I hear a lot about is the African Pride Pre-Poo. It's more budget friendly. It's in the $5 to $6 range. It's on my wish list, but all the girls rave about it, and I feel like it's a really good product. I've not used it, but it'll be a good one to try if you want to dabble in pre-poo. Okay, so next we have cleansing, which of course, shampoo. You want to clean your scalp and you want to clean the length of your hair. Preferably, me personally, I like cleansing my scalp and the length of my hair with a shampoo. I like to use a hydrating and a clarifying shampoo depending on what I've been using, what's in my hair. If I have a lot of edge control, I'll use a clarifying shampoo. If not, I'll just use my hydrating shampoo. But I like shampoo. Natural girl hair history, we've had phases where we did not use shampoo. We were co-wash only. Co-wash meaning conditioner only. Instead of using shampoo, we've also had no sulfate shampoos. We've also had scalp only shampoo phase. We've done it all. I personally didn't stay on those trains very long. I like using a sulfate containing shampoo from root to end, and that's just my personal preference. But I would say whatever you want to try and utilize, completely up to you. Don't let anyone shame you into what products you should use and what techniques you should use. Take everything with a grain of salt and do what you want to do. So I use a hydrating shampoo every wash day, and then I use a clarifying shampoo as needed. So my favorite hydrating shampoo is by Pattern, of course. I'm a Pattern girly. And then my favorite clarifying shampoo is by Melanin Haircare. This is the African Black Soap Reviving Shampoo. This is also Balm.com. Other shampoos that I've used in the past that I happen to love is the Paul Mitchell Awapuhi Wild Ginger Shampoo. Love it down. I do co-wash from time to time. If I'm midweek, I don't want to wash my hair, I just need a quick little something, I will use the As I Am Coconut Co-Wash. So next up, we have rinse out conditioners. Now, I did not have a rinse out conditioner in my video, and that's because I don't do it every time. It just depends what I have going on and just how I feel. If I know that I'm not going to be able to use direct heat on my deep conditioner step, then I will try to use the rinse out conditioner just to kind of get an extra little bit of something going on. But if not, if I know I'm directly going into deep conditioner with heat, I'll just completely bypass the rinse out conditioner step. Currently in my rotation for rinse out conditioner is by Pattern. It's the medium conditioner. She does have light, medium, heavy, and intense rinse out conditioners. I like medium. I tried all of them except for the light. The heavy and the intense are ideal for deep conditioner for me and my hair density and texture, but for rinse out directly in the shower, medium all the way. And the only other rinse out conditioner that I've used in the past several years has been the Paul Mitchell Awapuhi Wild Ginger line. They have a cream rinse that is their rinse out conditioner. And then finally, we have deep conditioner, which I would say is my favorite part of wash day because not only do you know that you're almost done, but also you have the most benefits going into your hair during deep condition. You're getting a mask and you're also probably getting heat, and your hair is just going to love it and soak it up and just thrive. So this is my favorite step. So I deep condition every wash day. This is a non-negotiable for me. No matter what I do, I'm going to deep condition. Even if I can't use heat, I'm still going to deep condition for at least 10 minutes or so in the shower, non-negotiable. My preference is to sit under the hooded dryer for about 30 to 45 minutes with my deep conditioner. But sometimes if I'm running low on time and I just can't afford to sit for that long, I will put on like a beanie or something and then just work around the house, do some errands to kind of get that humidity going to penetrate further. Of course, deep conditioners are formulated to specifically penetrate your hair and give it what it needs. So, deep conditioners can be geared towards moisture or protein. My preference is one that has a little bit of both. My favorite deep conditioner of all time, I think for the past however long it's been out on the market, is the Shea Moisture Manuka Honey Amphora Oil Intensive Hydration Hair Mask. This is the GOAT. I've seen and heard so many girls and boys with different hair types, different hair lengths, porosity, all of them. Everyone loves this deep conditioner. I don't think I found very many people who this does not work for. So if there's not anything in this video that I can recommend to you, it would be trying this out to see how it works for you, because it's just so universal and it's just that good. So yeah, this is my favorite. Another deep conditioner that I have in my collection that I don't use as much because it's more protein heavy, but I still enjoy it from time to time, is the Melanin Silkening and Strengthening Plumping Deep Conditioner. Other deep conditioners that I've used over the years that I really enjoy and would recommend would be, again, Paul Mitchell. I just have a tiny little corner left, but this is also a part of the Awapuhi Wild Ginger line. I happen to like using things in a system, so that's why I'm always talking about the same few product lines. But this is their intensive treatment. This is a very quick one that you can just use in the shower for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Another one that I really love is the Joico Moisture Recovery Balm. That stuff, if you need a quickie, if you need a quick 3-5 minute deep conditioning, that is the one. That is the one. It is a little pricey, but sometimes you can find it in like TJ Maxx or Marshalls. So we're finishing up with steaming, which is not something I do very often. Like, clearly from the video, I don't even have a real steamer. I just rigged something up to give myself a little extra treat that day. Steaming is something that I want to do more of. I hope to get the pattern steamer for my birthday or Christmas. But for now, I just, use my little rig system here and there. But usually when I go into the salon a couple times a year, this is something that I always add on to get that extra little treatment for myself. The purpose of steaming is to, again, raise that cuticle to allow for products to better infiltrate your hair, to deposit moisture, product, and just overall hydration. So the last step in my wash day routine is always going to be adding a leave-in. A leave-in is a light moisturizer that really helps seal in all that goodness that you've gotten through your entire wash day routine, really seal in that moisture and serve as a base for your stylers. There are some stylers that may not require a leave-in, but for me personally, I've always used a leave-in first, preferably the one that aligns with that specific brand. For instance, for me, I'm currently solely using the Doux styler, so I use Dear Mama Moisture Milk under all of my stylers. They're very compatible. I don't have any issues with, peeling up or just not working together, so I just continue to use this under everything. So another leave-in that I like, of course, is the Pattern Beauty leave-in. This is one of the best leave-ins that I've ever tried. The texture and the smell, it's perfect. It's lightweight. It's very compatible with a lot of different products. I've never had any issues with it. I recommend it. I will buy it again, when I start to venture out to other stylers. But again, for now, I'm pretty stocked up on Moisture Mama, but Patterns leave-in, A1. And then the third type of leave-in that I sometimes use is the Sacred. Yes, my girl, the queen. Sacred Moisture Sealing Lotion. Oh, and speaking of Sacred, I have used her moisturizing deep conditioner. Fire. It's expensive, but it is really fire, and I will rebuy that one. But fast forwarding back to leave-ins. This is her moisture sealing lotion. I use this mostly when I'm getting ready to heat style. That's mostly what it's geared towards, but I've also used it on wet hair to kind of set some twist. It smells like I've not smelled anything else today, but this smell is immaculate. It's immaculate. And I also have the oil that matches this line, and it's all that. So yeah, that is it, my friends. That is my entire wash day routine. That is product recommendations. That is, determining what's my hair type. That's that should set you up. That should get you right and get you going. And then I just want to close this out with a few final notes. Again, one is always going to be your mindset. Be mindful of your mindset. Be one with your hair, accept your hair, love your hair, treat it right, and you'll be fine. Second, as you're learning new things and trying new products and techniques, don't go overboard. Don't blow a bag. Don't do too much at one time. Try what you're going to try a few times. If it doesn't work, maybe pass it along to a friend. Check with your friends if they have anything stuck in their closet that they didn't like that you could try. Just kind of work work smartly. Thirdly, don't change too many things at one time. You need to be able to know what is the one piece of this routine that did not work so that you can swap that thing out. So you just one at a time or maybe two at a time, but not too much at one time. Fourth, there are a lot of oils and vitamins and serums. And I would say, as you're considering possibly using them, just do your research. Make sure that they're compatible with you and your system and any medicines that you may be on. What do you have to do to keep the results? Do your research. Take everything with a grain of salt. Weigh the pros and cons and do what's best for you. And then, fifth and finally, I would say if your hair still won't do right, it's shedding a lot, it feels coarse, it just won't do right, I would talk to your doctor about it. You could be vitamin D deficient. I'm not a medical doctor, but from my experience, I had my blood drawn and I was vitamin D deficient. I was prescribed vitamin D and it really helped with everything. So talk to them, get a recommended dosage, and see if that helps. So, yeah. Mm, yes. I think that just about does it. I think we're done for real this time. And thank you for sticking with me. It was a long video, but I think it was a good starting place to help you look at what kind of hair do I have? What are my goals? What are some product recommendations? How do I find a hair twin or a hair sister to further build my hair care routine? Yeah, I think we did good. Thanks for watching. I hope that you stay tuned, subscribe, and look forward to more hair care videos, beauty videos, lifestyle videos. I'll be here. I'm your girl. Even if we don't have the same hair type, I hope that you can take something from this video and stay tuned. Bye.